Hey guys, this is 97 Lego Maniac. Be sure to check out my other social media accounts and my Patreon. Links are down below. Going to be my last batch of Marvel figures for a while now. I still want to make more characters in the MCU, but for now, I want to prioritize figures that are more important in my list, such as Doki Doki, which I just finished, and My Hero Academia, which is going to be my next big ambitious project yet. Still working on Recreators as well, but those will be in the back burner until I figure out certain parts. I thought to sort of end this Infinity War minifigure series for now, I should showcase both Iron Man and Thor. I still have other minifigures to show, such as Black Widow and Hawkeye from the first Avengers movie, Nick Fury and Winter Soldier from Captain America the Winter Soldier. Those I finished months ago, but you know how I run my channel. I never plan for anything and I just make videos that are worth making. Thor is probably my best sculpted minifigure yet. I originally wanted to make my own version of Thor and loosely based it off of his appearance in Infinity War because I honestly think his suit is bland with dull looking colors. However, after seeing Infinity War and realizing how awesome Thor was in the movie, I took it upon myself to scrap my previous figure and make a screen-accurate version instead. His torso armor is all fully sculpted, and to add some color, I went with different types of gunmetal and black to make some of the details stand out, because his suit in the movie does not at all. This is also my best sculpted armor to this day. I used a sleepy hair piece and sanded off the top and the sides and used an old Thor head because I prefer this expression more. I also sculpted his eye patch. I personally don't agree with Thor getting a new eye because it just made Ragnarok seem pointless. So I gave it to him anyway because I think it looks badass in my opinion. His capes are actually two separate capes glued together, and I glued it onto his shoulders to make it look more realistic to how capes are actually worn. Which means his back isn't sculpted and painted, and I can't show it to you because the super glue hardened the cape so that it's impossible to show the back without accidentally destroying it and a sculpt on top. But the back printing is actually a Subaltron officer, if you're wondering. His arms are painted with the Model Masters Chrome Silver paint, and I used an X-Acto knife to create this chainmail texture. I then used E-tape for his gauntlets. His legs are actually painted with nothing spectacular about them besides the sculpted knee pads. On to Stormbreaker. Not gonna lie, it looks lazy, and that's because I made this in less than a day and I was burnt out making superhero figures, so I didn't spend a lot of time on making his weapon. Those who give me constructive criticism, I do hear you and I can completely agree. Personally, I just never cared about his weapon, but I know many of you wanted me to make it, so I did it even if it was half-assed. I used styrene for their axe and sculpted the hammer portion. I had some people telling me that I positioned it the wrong way in this photo, but I don't care. I used a Lego rod and bent it and sculpted vines connecting the axe, hammer, and the handle. Iron Man is the most difficult minifigure I've made, and I will never make another Iron Man suit ever again. For this Iron Man figure, I wanted to do something different. For previous Iron Man, I usually use Lego's official printed torso and I just paint my own details around it. Nowadays, it doesn't look good, and I don't want to do that ever again. I don't want to buy third-party Iron Man suits because those add unnecessary bulk to the minifigures. For this Iron Man, I decided to sculpt my own details on top to give it some 3D elements. But I don't want to sculpt too much that it looks fat, and I don't want to sculpt little that it looks flat and boring. I even sculpted his helmet as well. Lego did a great job molding the Iron Man helmets for what they could do, but they're just not that proportional at all, even for a Lego minifigure. Since this was my first time sculpting an Iron Man helmet, I think I did an okay job, but definitely I need a lot of practice. This is also my first ever light up Iron Man and my 7th figure incorporating LED. The process of making this figure is the reason why I will never make another Iron Man. Giving him this LED feature and sculpting the helmet are nightmares, and I do not want to relive that ever again. It was not easy making this figure, let alone base it off my own concept art I made. Other parts that are sculpted includes his chest, shoulders, the thighs, and his hands. I used a custom transparent figure for the base, so that way the LED can actually shine through certain parts of his chest, back, head, and his hands, which acts as repulsors. For the paint, I used Model Masters Chrome for the base, and to top it off I used Model Masters Transparent Red so I can give this figure a metallic red look. I made a tutorial on that in case you guys are interested. I used additional colors such as gloss red or certain highlights to make the figure stand out. I separated gold with black outlines so that way it wouldn't look too messy. As I stated in my previous customizing critique videos, black is the most important color and outlines are important, especially when separating two similar types of paint. Use black outlines whenever you want to separate two different metallic colors. or even ordinary light or dark colors in case you need to separate certain details. Now his wings are actually made with styrene and I painted the same way as Iron Man. I didn't give him weapons because I just didn't care about it that much, and as I said before, I just felt burnt out after making too many superhero figures. That is all guys, and for my next custom minifigure, I still have 4 Marvel figures I have to show. Steins Gate whenever my minifigure cat order will finally arrive after a month. Doki Doki Literature Club, and Optimus Prime before BrickFair 2018. I'll provide more information about that in the future. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys later.